It was the first morning of holiday break. Dad was in the kitchen flipping pancakes. Mom was setting plates on the table. And I sat on the floor playing tug of war with Pickles. The whole house smelled like breakfast and felt warm from the winter sun. After breakfast, Mom said with a grin, "Let's make this the most fun holiday at home ever." Dad laughed, I cheered, and Pickles wagged his tail so hard he almost knocked over a chair. Dad slid a tall stack of pancakes onto the table. Mom drizzled syrup over them while I added way too many blueberries on my plate. Pickles sat patiently under the table, eyes locked on every bite. When I took the first bite, Pickles let out a tiny whine, as if to say, "Hey, where's mine?" I giggled and dropped a blueberry into his bowl. After breakfast, Dad lined up empty plastic bottles as bowling pins at the end of the living room. Mom found a big softball and handed it to me like I was in a real tournament. I rolled the ball perfectly down the lane. All the pins fell, but the ball kept going and knocked over Pickles' water bowl. Mom brought out a pile of blankets. Dad grabbed a few chairs, and I started stacking pillows. Pickles thought we were building him a new giant dog bed. We draped blankets over the chairs and crawled inside. It became the coziest fort ever, with Pickles guarding the entrance like a loyal knight. Mom hid little clues all over the backyard. Dad handed me the first note, and Pickles sniffed the air like he already knew where the treasure was. The final clue led us to a small box buried under the big oak tree. Inside were popsicles for everyone, which made Pickles tilt his head in confusion. Dad set up a course in the backyard with cones, hoops, and a jump rope finish line. Pickles thought it was a snack hunt. I dashed through the course with Pickles right on my heels. Mom and Dad cheered like it was the Olympics. Dad brought out our favorite board game and set it up on the coffee table. I sat cross-legged on the floor, ready to win. I made the final move, and everyone froze for a second before cheering. I had just won. Dad laughed in surprise. Mom clapped, and Pickles wagged his tail like he understood everything. We dimmed the lights, grabbed blankets, and settled on the couch. Pickles curled up beside me, ready for the movie. We snuggled under the blankets, sharing popcorn while the movie played. Pickles let out a happy sigh and rested his head on my lap. It felt like the perfect ending to a perfect day.